warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
So far, so good.
Okay. Welcome back to our
Presentation.
presentation today. Okay. Today we will like to talk about variable in quantitative research. First of all, my name is Islahul Mauliya and my friend
Resty Zulema Relianisa.
Okay, let's jump right in. This is our outlines. The first one is definition of variables. The second one is types of variables in quantitative research. And the last one is conclusion. So, the first one. What is variable? Variable refers to a characteristic or attribute of an individual or an organization that can be measured or observed and that varies among the people or organization being studied. This variance means that score in a given situation fall into at least two mutually exclusive categories. That definition based on Thomson 2006. Okay. In general, variable is an object that will be used as a research in the form of abstract and real. The implementation of this activity must be systematic and accordance with scientific. So, the result being able to observe are justified. The foundation of the theory used also influence in the result obtained. But it should be emphasized that the number of variables is not determined depending on the type of research to be conducted. Okay, now we move to types of variables in quantitative research. The first one is independent variable. Independent variables are those that probably cause, influence, or affect outcome. They are also called treatment, manipulated, antecedent, or predictor variable. In the simple way, independent variables are objects of research that influence other factors. Once again, object of research that influence other factor, as the name implies that a variable is free and the results are not affected by anything. Unlike with the second one, dependent variable. Dependent variables are those that depend on the independent variable. They are the outcomes of a result of the influence of the independent variable, or the names for dependent variables are criterion, outcome, effect, and response variable. In the simple way, dependent variables is the result or influenced by other research object. I will make a point. Independent are object of research that influence other factor, but dependent the result of influence by other research object. Okay. This is independent versus dependent variable. The independent variable is what the researcher studies to see its relationship of effect. And then dependent variable is what is being influenced or affected by the independent variable. Independent variable may be either manipulated or selected. Okay, I give an example for all of you. This is the example. The study related to learning outcomes. The study related to learning outcomes and interest in learning. Once again, study related to learning outcomes and interest in learning outcomes and interest in learning. The free object is learning interest And then the effect is learning outcome. So, learning interest is the independent variable, and then the learning outcomes is dependent variable because the outcomes affected by independent variable. I mean, independent variable mempengaruhi outcomes. Okay, is that clear? Okay, the relationship between independent and dependent variable. Independent variable presume or possible cause, and dependent variable presume result. Okay, is that for me? So now, my friend will continue the presentation.
Thank you. Now we are in the third types of variables in quantitative research study, which is intervening or mediating variables. Intervening or mediating variables stand between the independent and dependent variables, and they mediate the effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable. For the example, a researcher wishes to determine how A as independent variable will affect B as dependent variable. It is possible for F as intervening variable might have an effect on B. Then we have moderating variables for the fourth types of variables. According to Thomson 2006, moderating variables are independent variables that affect the direction and or the strength of the relationship between independent and dependent variables. These moderating variables are new variables constructed by a researcher by taking one variable and multiplying it to another to determine the joint impact of both on dependent variable. This variable can be found in experiment research. Now we are in the fifth type of variable, which is control variables. Control variables play an active role in quantitative studies. These are a special type of independent variable that researchers measure because they potentially influence the dependent variables. Researchers use statistical procedure to control these variables. And for the last of variable in a quantitative research study, we have confounding variable. Confounding variable is not actually measured or observed in a study. It exists, but its influence cannot be directly detected. Researchers cannot comment on the influence of confounding variables after the study has been completed, because these variables may have operated to explain the relationship between the independent variable and dependent variable, but they were not or could not be easily assessed. So, from our presentation today, we can conclude that in a quantitative research study, variables are related to answer a research question by how. For example, how does self-esteem influence the formation of friendships among adolescents? Or to make predictions about what the researcher expects the results to show. These predictions are called hypotheses. Okay, I think that's all for our presentation. Don't forget to comment on the comment section below. Thank you for your
Kind attention and thank you.
kind attention, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.